Mindful Life Practice community.
All right, hips, shoulders, back. Let's use the regular stuff for yin, like our blocks and our pillows. And that's it. And so we're going to come to a comfortable seat. And you can rest the palms either face down as an intention of groundedness. Or you might rest them face up as an intention of openness. Can you find and feel your breath? Taking deep inhales and exhales. And as you take deep inhales and exhales, let them be your anchor. Let them be your anchor into the here and now. I am coming off of this week where I have struggled with living in the here and now. Been living in the past and then living in the future. And if you are feeling this way in this moment, can you give yourself some forgiveness and some compassion? As your mind wanders or spirals out of this moment, just gently anchor it back. Back to the inhales. Back to the exhales. Can you set an intention to simply be here now? Despite all the chaos, despite all of the drama, despite whatever else is going on in your mind, be here now. With the breath. With the sensations. With this practice. We're going to start to gently move our bodies with our breaths before dropping into stillness. So take a breath in, sweep your arms up. And then land your right palm and then stretch your left arm over to the side. And then lift all the way up. And then stretch the opposite way. So landing the left palm, reaching the right arm over to the left. Lift your arms all the way up. And then let's rotate the left palm onto the right knee, gazing over the right shoulder. And then lift your arms all the way up. And then can you rotate the opposite way? Come all the way up with the arms. And then we're just going to sweep our arms around our back body and interlace our palms. And I'm going to get out my little timer to tell you guys something funny about the timers that I just remembered. Okay, so we're going to interlace our palms and then place our palms onto the right hip and then drop our right earlobe down to our right shoulder. Okay, so these timers, as you guys know, I've borrowed these from my classroom. I am a grade 1 teacher. And the 2 timers that I took were the 2-minute and then the 3-minute. And then there's a 10-minute timer that I left at school. And I think there's a 1-minute timer as well that's somewhere in the cupboard. But 1 minute is too short for anything in grade 1. So anyway, I forgot to bring these timers back to school today. And so we used to do this thing where they would do, it was called waterfall for 3 minutes. They weren't allowed to talk when they ate their snack. And then when the timer was finished, they could start talking. Matt already knows where this is going because he's a teacher. So anyway, these timers are at home. And the kids, it's been so long that they didn't realize that it was never a 10-minute timer. It was never 10 minutes that they had to be quiet. It was 3 minutes, but there was no 3-minute timer. So kids were like, oh, you forgot about waterfall. You have to teach the new kids waterfall. And I look and I realize that there's only the 10-minute timer. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to see if they're going to challenge me on this. So I said, okay, flip this 10-minute timer and you guys have to be quiet for 10 minutes. And none of them noticed that it was actually always 3 minutes and now it's 10. So I've just got myself 7 more minutes a day times 2. So 14 more minutes a day of silence. And I'm feeling really good about it. Honestly, they amazed me today with this ability to be quiet for that long. I guess there is like this excitement of the kids going back to school. And I'm sure that we can all relate to to that excitement they're feeling as we're all missing things in different ways, whether or not we're living in a lockdown, whether we're separated from our family and friends. Can you release that grip and then just bring your head up to balance on both shoulders and rest your palms? Feel the difference from the left side as opposed to the right. And then we'll go the opposite way. So we're going to interlace the palms behind the back and then just place them on the left hip. And then drop the left earlobe towards the left shoulder. Now, luckily, I'm not going to bring my 10-minute timer home, so I'm not going to make you guys hold any yin poses for 10 minutes. You know, I really got into Yin Yoga when the pandemic started. I find that interesting because it's like my mind is racing so much that I just need time to be still and to be slow. Coming into silence and focusing on the breath can do that for you. Just take a few more breaths. And then just land your palms on your legs and lift your head up. And then we'll just get a little bit of movement through the neck so you can drop the chin and rock it from side to side. And I'm tired. And then let's just rock the head all the way back, bringing it into center. And then come up onto your hands and knees. So we're going to come into a melting heart pose or a puppy pose, and you can walk your hands forward. And I'm going to give you an option if you want to get into a deep shoulder stretch and you have your blocks handy. You might place your blocks on the mat and land your elbows onto the blocks. And then rest your head down and then bring your palms to press together. So melting heart or puppy pose. It's a heart opener. Sometimes heart openers can be tricky. I think they allow a sense of, or they expect us to have a sense of vulnerability and openness that when we come to yoga, we might not feel able to practice, able to move into. I know when I started doing back bends, it was like, I just had so much resistance because I had so many years of things that I just didn't talk about. So maybe as you're lingering in this shape, you can feel yourself kind of gradually shifting into it.
And then just kind of let yourself feel anything that comes up as you land in the shape and linger in it. Can you stay for a few more breaths?
And then we're just gonna lift up. And then if you have the blocks, just slide them to the side. And then if you have a pillow, you're gonna take that pillow or that bolster in between your legs. Oh, my camera is off. Take the bolster between your legs and we're gonna come into a child's pose. You can just kind of snuggle your body around that bolster and land a cheek. I think one of the biggest challenges that a lot of us have been faced with this year is learning how to spend time with ourselves. Learning to be comfortable with loneliness. And then some of us are going through the opposite type of thing, which is learning how to be with the same people over and over again, 24/7, family or roommates. Let's just lift the head all the way up We're just going to rotate it onto the other cheek.
Stay curled up in this child's pose for just a few more breaths.
And then we're just going to slowly start to roll our way up to seated. Giving your body a little bit of a rebound. Start to shift your body. So you're going to come onto the edge of your bolster or pillow. And you're going to snuggle your right hip up towards the bolster. And then just kind of have your legs set up in this, this thing. Or your right sole of foot is coming towards your left knee. And then your left leg is extended out. And then you're going to start to just rotate your body towards the bolster or pillow. Nice. And then just turn your gaze in the opposite direction. So over the right shoulder. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a weird little twist. Nice. And then as you guys settle into that, I will flip the timer and I will go get my sweater because I am freezing in Abu Dhabi. Although, to be fair, it has actually gotten warmer these days here. As you land in this twist, let it be a release. I don't know what you are carrying with you into this practice. For myself, it's a mix of like exhaustion and grief and stress. Whatever you're carrying, see if you can just kind of wring it out with your twist. Stay here for a few more breaths. And then we're just going to slowly lift up. And then we're going to switch the opposite way. So rotating all the way around, connecting knee to sole of foot. Before starting to kind of spiral your body down the opposite way. I see some yawns coming from my Middle East crew. Snuggle onto the opposite cheek. Stay for a few more breaths in this twist. And then you're just gonna slowly unwind. And then we're gonna come into one last final pose. We're gonna come into our legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. You can have your legs just lifted up. On a piece of furniture or extended up the wall or whatever variation works for you. And I'm not going to remain in this pose while I would love to. I think I almost fell asleep in the last pose. I'm afraid if I stay in my legs up the wall, then I will just sleep in the pose. So I'm going to come up to seated. Let your limbs be heavy. Letting your back body be heavy. Softening your breath. Most importantly, love. Like it's the only thing you know how. At the end of the day, all this means nothing. This page, where you're sitting, your degree, your job, the money, nothing even matters. Except love and human connection. who you loved, and how deeply you love them. How you touched the people around you. And how much you gave them. So either stay with your legs up the wall, or maybe you extend all the way out into a regular old Shavasana. Taking a pose that will hold you in your breath. Hold you in your body. I have this ring that I have worn on my right hand since 2014. And it has 7 rings, which represent the 7 chakras. And on the top, it says, everything you need is within you. I think that is the biggest problem in our modern world. It's that we spend our lives searching the outside world when we should be searching the inside. So give yourself the last few moments here to lean inward. Loka samasta Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukino bhavantu. Give your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. Running a nice stretch through the body. Just eventually making your way up to your cross-legged shape with your palms at your heart center. Closing with this intention. And it's that our practice remain steady. And that our efforts remain continuous. And that this yoga ripples like a wave through the universe and it reaches the people that need it the most. May all beings be safe and happy and healthy and free. And may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So we're going to finish with an Om, and we're going to inhale and exhale and inhale through to make the Om. So take a breath in and then a breath out and then a breath in. Thank you so much for sharing the space and the practice. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys